Hare Krishna, dear devotees. This is Rasika Preeti Devi Dasi from the beautiful farms of Neelachal Vedic village. Let's continue with the stories. I'm going to come back again, but 9-10 is also an age where they will start having these questions, Why should we do this? Why should we do the right thing? So all Bhagavad Gita is your book for 9-10, 4th, 5th standard, okay? Then by 5th standard, they are a little settled now. They are a little okay, now they think everything is in control and they are the most peaceful lot at 10, 11, But 12, जैसे ही 12 start होगा, तो they will start having these hormonal things, they'll have attraction, they'll experience infatuation, they'll experience all sort of feelings, emotional, they'll get more into their emotional body and they will feel attracted to opposite gender. So what kind of stories? We have to introduce them to love, okay? Because if you don't do it the right way, they will figure all the wrong ways to get attracted to opposite person, okay? So we tell them stories of our great couple. You talk about Lord Ram and Sita, what kind of relationship they shared, how surrendered Mother Sita was. And you can talk about Devahuti, Kadamba Muni, you can talk about these people, and look for more stories of these beautiful examples of, not Draupadi yet, okay? Please keep Mahabharat stories until later, after 15, 16, better. That would be better. You would be able to handle the answers better. If you are capable, if you are thorough with this philosophy, and if you really have all the answers, and if you think you will be able to best convey it to your children, convince them, then go ahead, okay? Nobody is stopping. But if you think you are not there yet, not at the level where you understand yourself so much, and you won't be able, because children can come up with questions you may never think of, and they will have questions, and you should be well equipped to answer them. So only when you feel confident, you start. Otherwise, you wait till an age where you can together study it, right? So that is the only reason why you wait for all these stories, because there is an age for everything. There is an age they want things, okay? So this is the time they want 12, 13. So that is 6th, 7th. They start feeling attraction strongly, and you introduce love, which is true, real love stories, our Vedic love stories. You talk about Krishna's love you can talk about the Gopakumar, how Krishna goes in search for all his devotees, Krishna and his friends also, all the Gopasakha. So all these pastimes you can give from early, but now you can actually analyze and study it. Once again, you can revisit them. So for early children, you can talk about butter thief stories, you can talk about Kalya Mardaman, you can talk about, so that comes as fairy tales, when so Kalya came and Kalya was, Trinavarta came, and so many things are there. Especially 5th standard you can talk about Kalya's story in extent, because it's all about envy, and that's what they start feeling after 8-9 years of age. They feel it more. You can give it at early age also. So those look as fantastical stories, but now when you revisit them, they appear more deep. You can talk about it more deeply. 8th, 9th standard, there is a lot of, they want to rebel everything. They want to feel connected. 8, 9, 10, these years. So even in schools, you see you have these revolutions, different forms of revolutions, how revolution came, how things changed, how people had the power to change, and they have the power to change. So this is the age where you talk to them about Prabhupada. You give them contemporary leaders, how they behave, how they should be, who is a true leader. You can talk about there are so many autobiographies of sannyasis in ISKCON, the Maharajas who did extraordinary things. You can start discussing this. So 8, 9, 10, that is after 13, 14. So 13, 14 tak you tell them about different love stories, different stories from the Shastras. Help them deal with their puberty, ease them into puberty, be patient with them, and then gradually you can come up with stories which are of current leaders, which are relevant. Now they'll not want stories of past leaders, okay? वो सब 100 साल पहले की बात थी. What's happening now? So you have to give them current leaders. You can start up till Prabhupada or even Bhakti Vinod Thakur, so you can say how challenging. So you bring it gradually, you bring it from Acharyas, our Vaishnava Acharyas, the Parampara, and slowly you bring to Prabhupada and talk about his hardships. You can do Prabhupada Leelamrit at this age, and you can do even current sannyasi leaders. And also devotees' life of devotees, Simple for the Simple. There is a book, and Legacy of Love. These are some great books that you can talk about, especially if you're in the devotional path. The children will want to see examples how this is relevant to me now. Okay, no matter how well they are practicing, it's nice to seal it, proof kar do, full proof kar do, कि they don't want to feel doubts about their devotional service. Do your best, rest Krishna will take care. And Bhagavatam is forever, okay? So you start with Bhagavatam day 1, and later on, after all this phase, you can give them Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the post-graduation studies when they cross 15, 16. Of course, you can start early if you want to, but you can focus more on these stories which are required at this age, and then after that, let them read other things and let them read about Mahabharata and everything. That would be a nice age. So stories are for everything. Let's look at the therapeutic stories, how they help. So therapeutic stories are stories which are healing in nature. Now every story is going to impact, heal, encourage, and inspire in different ways. So they will have impact, they will heal you, they will have some encouragement for you, they will have a lesson for you, and they will inspire you. But therapeutic stories are specially written for healing specific challenges. Like if there is a book on therapeutic stories, there is a nice collection of therapeutic stories, you can search. I'll link it in the description box, and you can go through those stories. You can create your own stories. If the child is not eating, if the child is bedwetting, if the parents are undergoing separation, how to let the child in. If the parent or somebody beloved to the child has left their bodies, so how will you let the child deal with the death and bereavement, the pain that the child is going through, and child being cranky, child being clingy, child being whiny, child being fussy, angry, disobedient and rude, arrogant, throwing tantrums, first day at school, bedwetting. So many challenges are there for children, and there are stories that you can repetitively tell your child. So I'll give just one example from my home. I always had a trouble that children would remove their toys and not pack it back. So I didn't complain much, because children don't understand. No matter how much you tell them again and again and again, they are not going to register it. They are kids, they have fickle mind. They are only focused on their growth and not how it's affecting you. So I started telling him about a brownie story. So in this story, there was a father and they didn't have their mother. So father found it, their mother went away, and the father found it very difficult. So you see, I'm not talking about a mother here, I'm talking about a father. So I'm disassociating. He should not feel like, oh, my mother is talking about herself. So you're disassociating, at the same time associating. So he was finding it very difficult to go through all the chores and complete all the work and everything. So what did he do? He one day the grandmother came, and grandmother told him, so there is a story in the story. So grandmother explained, so why don't you all get a magical brownie? This magical brownie is going to come and do all the work for you. So the boy was like, oh yes, I want my father to be very happy. So where can I find brownie? Because of the work pressure, the father was just upset and he had to do so much work. So the grandmother explains, it's only because there's so much work at home and he's tired, so you all can get a brownie. And he said, where will I find a brownie? So the mother directs the child to a river, and somehow she gives him a riddle where the child sees the reflection, and he sees his own reflection, and he understands that he should be the brownie of the house. So next day what he does, he wakes up early in the morning and he cleans the house and puts everything in place and keeps. In the morning when the father is coming all tired, अरे अभी उठ के काम करना पड़ेगा, and then when he saw, oh my god, the work is done, who was this brownie? I think we got brownie in our house. And the child kept it a secret, that he's the brownie, and the father would be so happy every morning that brownie is coming and cleaning the house. Oh my god, since these stories, I don't have to worry about cleaning the house at all. My son is just like, I'll do the brownie. So if I'm out, if I'm with the child, if I'm with the younger one doing something, the house is clean, spick and span, and brownie. So and sometimes if I have to tell, okay, so you do the brownie first and then go. So brownie is a keyword to make the house all right. So therapeutic stories, they really are impactful for everything. For anger, there's a drum story, the naughty stick story. There's so many stories. When they are not eating food, you can talk about the food. There are unlimited stories. You can create your own stories on the go. Just be creative, you can take a couple of courses, you can learn how to create stories, and it's amazing how you can create your own stories. And stories are so powerful. They will change everything without you having to scold, without you having to shout at them, without you having to just go in the flow. You don't have to take to hitting, beating, scolding, talking, philosophy. Just story. That is what even Vedas did, right? They were Vedas, and it was so complex for us to understand. And then there are stories written for Vedas to make it simple. Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, they are stories that make the concept of the Shastras very simple. The Itihas, the Smritis that we have, they are making the concept so easy to understand through stories. Stories are powerful. Stories can teach even complex concepts with such ease, like water cycle, simple water cycle story, simple nature story, a simple frog and the tortoise story. Imagine without the hare and the tortoise story, if you had to explain to somebody that slow and steady wins the race, how would you do that? Do it as an experiment. How story makes it so simple, and how try doing it without a story. You will know the impact of stories you can have in people's life. So that was all about the stories. We are done with the stories at last, and we'll meet again with more such information. Till then, thank you so much for being with me. If you like the video, please like it. If you have any questions for me, if you want to ask something, if you want me to do videos about any topic, then please put it in the comment box. And if you are really happy with this, share it, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Hare Krishna.